All right. Well, I'm going to assume that it's working. Oh, it is. Okay. Sorry for the technical issues. It's there's just something about plugging all this stuff in that doesn't work some of the times. Excuse me, Eddie G's Music World. I haven't been on for a few weeks. The last time was discussing Lola by the Kinks, the meaning of, and I thought I'd go a different route now. 20 working musicians over 75. Now this is obviously this is from 5 years ago. So there's a little bit of a little bit of things that didn't really come true because one of them passed away. Um, let's see. Might as well let's say, should I do the right thing and go make this an exciting build up? Start at number 20. Yeah, why don't I make the effort? Now look, this one is really, really inappropriate because the man just died. Charlie Watts. He was 75 at the time. Um, the obviously the people who wrote this didn't know that he would be gone this 5 years later, or they probably had a feeling. Um, you know, he's an original member of the Rolling Stones. At that time, he was still part of any studio things going on. Charlie Watts, and he was 75 at the time, so it was appropriate to bring him up as far as that's concerned. Excuse me. It's Eddie G's Music World, by the way. So, of course, yes, he did tour then, did do studio stuff, and he was poised to be part of the upcoming Stones tour. Now, the only reason why I would say this guy should be getting a pass because he's still pretty virile. I saw him in 2004 live, and he still could do everything. He still had the health. So look, the Rolling Stones are one of the oldest dinosaurs around. They're kind of like an anomaly. You kind of figure, despite the fact that they're like really getting up there, and this is 2021 right now, you still kind of let the old guy like that keep going. Next, Bob Dylan. Now, he's number 19, 75 at the time. So that means he's 80. Well, let me say, I've heard people say that the guy's doing much better than he's singing better now than he did when I saw him in about when he was about 40, which I didn't enjoy the show. I didn't have great seats, but he was not really somebody I was impressed with live. But they're saying it too in this list that Dylan shouldn't be performing anymore. Uh, Obviously, that's his thing. Based on my one time seeing him live, I'm going to say maybe they're right. The Bob Dylan really should be kind of taking it easy. He just sold his catalog for 320 million bucks. So money's not the issue. He obviously gets something out of it, but I don't think somebody who's 80 years old should be really miking up and running out there. Bob's voice was never great, and probably much, it's probably a little worse now, but I've heard good things. Number 18 of the old people that shouldn't be performing anymore. He was 76 back then when this was written. Ringo Starr. I saw him as well in 2000. So that was when he was, let's see, he was 60. I thought he was pretty good at the time. He kept everything rolling pretty well. He merged well with, it was his all star band, Ringo's all star band. And he merged very well with the other members of the group, like Hodgson and Ian Hunter and a few other guys. I forget who they were, Howard Jones and whatever. And he sang pretty well, and he had an upbeat feeling to the show. So there, I saw him as getting a bit old, and he was definitely able to keep this rolling. So for that, I'd say if Ringo's now he's 81, if he still feels like it, I mean, his voice was never great in the first place, and he brings the energy. So let him keep playing. So I don't agree with that Ringo that is too old to play. Okay, who's coming up next? Bill Wyman. Well, I don't understand this one at all because he's been out of the Rolling Stones for about 25 years. He's 85 now. So 25 years ago, he was 60 ish, something like that, and he quit. So what has he done touring wise or live wise that you disapprove of? Whoever wrote this, I pretty much think he's done. He was done when this article was written. Whatever he's doing, nobody's listening or interested because he's not in the Stones anymore. But he's considered somebody that shouldn't be performing anymore. So well, I'll go along with it. Chris Christopherson, wow, 80 years old. Now he's 85. Well, he's not known for his. Well, he is known for his singing, and wrote Me and Bobby McGee, but he never really had a beautiful voice. So what are we dealing with here? Is this man even running around anymore at this time? He had that three country singers deal with those other two guys, Willie Nelson and somebody else, Waylon Jennings or whatever. Uh, they say he didn't have plans to retire. I don't know. Why should he even bother go out there anymore at 85? I think he should be off the road. Buddy Guy. I had a big argument with the guy because he said, "Oh, let's go to Buddy Guy." And I said, I don't really care I don't know much about him. I'm not that excited. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You got to see this guy. He's a living legend. He's this, he's that. He's the greatest thing in the world. I didn't go to the show, but this guy bullied me and bugged me and made me feel bad because I didn't go to the show. So I don't really have much to say about Buddy Guy. He's 85 as well currently. I should have done a little research on the guy to see what he's doing singing wise, but I didn't. But obviously, these people think that maybe he's a bit old for it. Next, Sam Moore. Is he still around playing? I know he was part of Sam and Dave. He's 86 now. They say here that he was like a big deal. He was in the Rock and Hall of Fame. I don't know. Should he be playing anymore? Sorry, I just don't know much about it. Bobby Bear. He had some one or two country songs. Now he's 86. He didn't really contribute much to my life as far as his music goes. I didn't really listen. If you want to comment on the guy, maybe I'll. He had 1,000 miles. He had some one hit that I remember. So I don't know. It's hard to comment on what he should be really doing as far as live shows go. Next, we will see. Let's see what I can say about this guy. John Mayall. Wow, he's still around. Mr. Mayall. Well, Clapton was in his band. Mick Taylor was in his band. Peter Green, Mick Fleetwood, Jack Bruce. I know Elton John. I think he passed through. He was kind of a big deal back in the 60s and 70s. Another type of blues guys I don't really sit around and pay a lot of attention to. Should he be playing? I don't even know if he's alive, for Christ's sake. I'm going to guess that he is. But, well, let's just say, okay, the man wants to play. Let him play. I don't think any big crowd's going to show up. And if he's dead, I'll find out later. Wayne Shorter. I think he's one of these jazz guys. Another guy. Sorry, he's on the list. He's 83 back when this list was made. Jazz guy. So it's not really something I have a massive amount of input on. If he's still around and plays, maybe I'll have to look him up and check it out. Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, I love this guy. He's 86 now. I say he still plays because he's just one of these legendary guys. He'll play till he's dead, Had a big late 1950s surge of songs, then a few in the 60s, and then a toss in a few more in the 70s. Very rebellious kind of guy. So, I mean, if he still can play piano, I'd be shocked if this guy's still playing. This is 5 years ago. He got into controversies and whatever, but I love his style. If he can still sing and play the piano, I say, yes, Jerry. Yes, Jerry Lee. Mr. Lewis, keep going. Patricia Clark, 83. Now she's 88. I know that she still tours. I know that because she comes to Quebec where I live. And the woman started off in the late 50s with some kind of a magical connection to Quebec's people. They loved her, and I liked her songs back when I was a little boy. Don't Sleep in the Subway and Downtown. I mean, these were classic songs. And I actually researched this, not even though I didn't know she'd be on this list. And I could see she could still sing half as good as she did when she was young. So for me, if you could sing half as good as you could, less force, but still you can carry the tune. Yeah, and yes, Pet, keep rolling into the towns, Keep singing. Why not? Willie Nelson. I see that he comes to town every few years here. Now he's 88, so it's another relic. Songwriter, character, dope smoker, non-taxpayer. You got to say the guy's worth sticking around for just because he's such a character. Can he still sing? I think I might have heard him belt out a little bit of songs in the last 3-4 years on some show, and it sounds like he still can. So, Willie, you get the nod. Keep going. Yoko Ono. Now, there's a lot of negativity about this woman. She's got a weird voice. We know all about the reputation. We all know the history. I don't have to talk about her. You know what? She's like a dinosaur, for Christ's sakes. She never claimed. I mean, she's not really a great singer, but if you got a chance to hear her, just kind of don't sit too close to the speakers because it does sound like blood curdling screaming. But hey, if she wants to get out of that big condo or apartment she lives in and show up in your town at 88, you know what? This woman's a legend just for who she married. So give her a shot. Why not? Let the old lady sing. 80. Oh, Loretta Lynn, big country star. She's 84 then, now 89. I don't really know what the hell this woman's up to. How the hell? Why would she even bother to sing? She was a queen of classic country, they call her. She doesn't want to rely on her accomplishments, I see. Christmas albums came out when she was 84. Really? Is this woman still wandering out on stage? Okay. All right. If she still wants to get up there, then go listen to the woman. I don't care. Fats Domino, well, he died about 3 years ago, so it's a moot point, but he's listed at number 5. He was 88 then. He lived to about 90. And since he's no longer with us, and I'm going to guess that, then what are we talking about here? It's not relevant. It's not something that's deservedly to analyze heavily. But he did love to play. He was a great pianist. He sang with that great style. So Fats, see you later. Sorry you're not around. Bert Bacharach, 88, not known as a great singer, but he did come to town about 8-9 years ago. Now, I almost went because he's a legendary writer. Just go Google the man. Just look at all the Dionne Warwick songs she co-wrote, What the World Needs Love. The guy's literally written, he did the music and Hal David, a lot of the words, but still co-written a lot. He's a guy that I have heard him sing, and I'm sure if I ever had the pleasure and the luck to talk to him, and if I dared ask him, "Are you a good singer, Bert?" he'd say, "No, I'm not really very good, but I play music and I sing a little bit. So why don't you just shut up and listen?" And you know what? I probably would. Anybody that good, but I don't know if I'd want to sit there. Like, I didn't go. It was 8-9 years ago. Could have gone to some stupid church in the east end of the city, and it was I just didn't want to go out there. Just the only reason I would have gone was the chance to meet this legendary man that wrote all those hit songs. But to hear him croak out a few tunes, I don't know, would have been tough, and I didn't go. So maybe I'm saying no. Harry Belafonte, this guy's still alive. Now he's 94. They say he retired from performing, but he's busy, an activist, an advocate. So let him keep doing that. Organize USA for Africa. But to hear him sing, unless I hear that this man could still sing a great song, I'm not going to say that this guy should be the singer. And he doesn't sound like he wants to anymore. So it's pretty much a fait accompli. That's number 3 on the list. Number 2, Tony Bennett. Well, he just retired. He's 95 now. He's got Alzheimer's. And yes, he did that shtick with Lady Gaga, gimmicky stuff where she's this big deal and she trots out this old man and he still can sing. And yeah, they did some duets and it was kind of fun, but I really didn't care for it because I'm not really a huge fan of hers. And he's a kind of over the hill. But look, he did hang on till about a year ago. So the answer is he says he's too old. So I agree. Number 1, I already saw this guy's list on the list, and he passed away probably a year after this thing was written. He was 90 at the time. Now, I will say, despite his legendary status for being a great writer, singer, guitarist, whatever, I saw a sign in a New York bar called BB King's that he would be upcoming and playing in a few weeks. That was like 2010. Then I looked on Google, not on YouTube, and about 2016 or 17, they showed him playing live. Now, legend or not, the man could not sing at all. He was basically a cushion like that with all the air out of it. Like not a cushion, like a blow up, like a raft that has no air in it. There's just nothing left, and he was just kind of strumming along. He's been known to be a money guy. He doesn't really, he doesn't pay a band on a regular basis. He would hire musicians as he popped into the city because it's cheaper to throw 4 or 5 guys $150 each than to pay for a band and pay for their room. So he was a real, economical guy. So that's what he would do. Obviously, based on what I saw on YouTube a few 3-4 years ago, he should have packed it in before he died. He should have just packed it in 5 years ago. But the guy obviously is a big money guy, loves money, couldn't pass up. Somebody'd say, here's $2,000, here's $3,000, $5,000, $4,000. So he kept going. But look, just my opinion, he should have stopped by back then. Well, I'm glad that I did this show. I'm not shocked that I don't have people tuning in. There's a very dwindling crowd. Maybe once in a while I will get people who pop in, and I do get some listens on the YouTube channel, like within weeks after my shows. So it's fine. I'm proud of it. Love you all. Eddie G's Music World, November 5th, 2021. Goodbye.